this is a quick one because I know the full moon is like, okay, we've had enough of this motherfucker. Like, I get where someone could be coming from, but it's like you're choosing to tune in. I'm speaking to a certain audience that actually needs it, and I'm actually breaking down some real shit for real transformation in benefit to actually happen. So it's like two things I wanted to touch upon real quick today was traditionally in traditional astrology and science, if you would like to call it that, the sun is masculine and the moon is feminine. But that isn't a traditional sense. In a more modern sense, the sun is actually feminine and the moon is actually masculine, because the sun is pulling us towards where we want to be. The sun's warmth and what we're appealed to by what is visually being entertained in our periphery, in our periphery scope of our visual scope prowess. We're responding to what is aesthetically pleasing to the eye. So the sun is actually like it's more feminine, it's more receptive, and we're receptive to its receptivity. And the moon itself is more masculine, and as the moon itself is more masculine, we're influenced particularly by the moon being influenced by what it has been accumulated and charged from its transit, from its technology. Go back to a past video. And we're receptive to that, the moon being at full charge, and it's more masculine, So, and throughout life, all of us, casually, naturally, we could get rejected, or we could get, entertained by. That's not necessarily always, conducive, productive, and positive. Just because you get an opportunity, not all opportunities are good opportunities. But the thing here is like, how we make decisions and choices, it's based on our level of awareness and intellect, because we're making choices and decisions based on what could be of benefit of us. But if we don't have the awareness of what could be of benefit of us, or we don't have the intellect of what we could be of benefit of us, or we might just not have the our ego didn't do enough shadow work. We might have an ego blockage that hinders our decision making and our choice making. So there's like many different factors to how we make choices and decisions just in general day-to-day life. And because I could go to a job interview and they don't really see the value. They all the only thing that people see is like, surface level presentation. What's that face value? That's okay, So there's a particular lack of resonance, and obviously like for the resonance to ultimately click in, there has to be like a mutual understanding. There has to be readiness on both ends, understanding on both ends, but most importantly, a particular type of awareness, like what's really at quote unquote stake, end quote, what's really for our benefit, because if we had the awareness to know what is for our benefit and the understanding to work with that, then our decision making process and our choice making process would be way different. It'd be way different because we're aware to the fact of what could ultimately bring good results. So people are like, and like, people are making their choices and their decisions based on their level of awareness, of course, as already mentioned, but not just in like a person-to-person manner. Like choices and decisions are being made like on different types of formats, like on the internet, responding to a message. Like there's so many different like contexts of how decisions and choices are being made. Are you going to keep scrolling on your phone, or you're going to actually like maybe find an alternative, maybe read a book or something, or maybe like, meditate casually, or just doing something like, generally different. So the way we make decisions and choices, we might let a good opportunity pass us by because we don't have a particular type of awareness. And I'm saying that with respects, and I'm trying to say that neutrally. I'm not trying to like force anything on anybody. That's someone else's program. That's someone else's misinterpretation. You're choosing to like, pay attention to this. that's your, like, you know, esoteric mental responsibility, respectively. But like, if we know how we make choices, if we know how we make decisions, you know, like within, like, not just in the setting of, like, you know, job interviews and whatnot, but just like responding and connecting and communicating with new people online and offline. If we like, if we had a particular type of awareness and understanding, or a lack thereof, that is the critical factor of how the decisions and the choices are getting made in and of themselves. So this is just a quick one real quick. And obviously, like, you know, as I'm grounding, you know, my air element within, you know, something of, like, I guess, more of a grounding quality, then I could be more organized with actually doing the readings, you know. And I'm taking full responsibility, of course. I'm not trying to blame anybody, but I'm being aware of the casual defects of society and individuals who are, you know, following up on a and a debunk, you know, society, government, grid protocol system that is defective. You know, people are conforming to that type of shit, you know. So like, I'm taking, like, my fair share of responsibility, but I'm also recognizing how there's, like, a defective system, to put it in more simplified terms, you know. So to put it in more simplified terms, I'm seeing how the society at large, there's a defective system, not good, not bad, just we're coming out of a period of darkness, and how certain beings are hankering and working with defective, detrimental, fragmented, distorted systems, and they are having their own unique level of transition upon their own pathway, upon their own quote unquote spiritual journey, end quote. So so since the moon could be more masculine on a full moon like this, it's best just to, like, you know, kind of like chill out and let the energies play, because the moon, when it's full, it's more provocative, you know. It's like, it's enhancing where your body of emotions is at, and where your body of emotions is at, it's being amplified. So it's not, I'm not trying to say, like, I'm not trying to judge anybody. I'm just trying to see the diagnostics of the metaphysics of where where human beings could be at biochemically and geochemically, you know, because geochemically, what's in the sky, biochemically, what is of our composite, and then spiritual chemically, maybe a spiritual chemical, you know, inner metaphysics could transform that, you know. Because, like, if there's a monk that has mastered the art of chi and stuff like that, and he's mastered, like, you know, fire, then wouldn't he be able to eat like a greasy ass burger and then just torch the shit out of whatever he just ate? You would think, you know. So there's a up and down process. As one goes up the ladder, one must come down. That's happening forever. And there's arrogant people in the spiritual community that, you know, have superpowers, that don't understand that particular dynamic. Because this is like, everything is like something of like everything is something of like an on and off switch, you know, and different gadgets and mechanisms within your inner being. So this is a casual one. And so this is a casual one. And let's see, where was I? And then just touching down on just recognizing it, hopefully within some type of neutral, like, vantage point of, like, me taking full responsibility of my shit, of course, but participating and recognizing detriments within the system and detriments within the mind that individuals are storing as metaphysical programs and software in their metaphysical software, and they're participating with a dying system, pretty much, or correct me if I'm wrong, you know. So let's see. And yeah, just another 7 years plus underground quality. The online surface level presentation, it literally is just I wouldn't say scratching the surface because there's some like depth here, you know, but it's just the surface layer level. It's just the surface level layer, you know. Like it's not necessarily up to me to it's not necessarily up to me to like say that the truth is gonna like fix everything, but it might though, you know. I'm just kind of relaying that message though. I'm just kind of relaying that message, you know. The truth actually may in fact fix everything. And how will it fix everything? How will the truth fix everything? And that's another one. How will America stay secure within itself? How will America stay secure within itself? What are we as citizens of this country voting for energetically with our minds and our casual actions to actually support our fucking home? And excuse my French, but not just to like you know, focus on that. How will so other than how will America like, you know, protect itself, it's like, are we just getting with the program pretty much? That's what I'm trying to say. Are we just getting with the new times or not? You know, like I get it, you know. We're all like we're all like some people are 1 foot in, 1 foot out within the future change period, pretty much respectively. And what that means is like they're not necessarily mentally preparing, adapting. I'm not speaking for everybody. They're not necessarily like taking into account the change of the rapid change, particularly of the future. But they could be in small like increments, of course, you know, respectively. And within that, you know, there's just like this dynamic of like energetically of 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you know, not just saying it like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, like you're in a stasis. No, we're 1 foot in, 1 foot out within dynamic change in it of itself. That's what I'm saying here. So it's like I get like the people like I get the people in like, you know, the certain careers and like certain like industries, you know, that are like, you know, that could be classified as something of like as something of, you know, governmental, you know. But what I'm trying to point out here is like change is inevitable. And how the change is inevitable, that's for you to like follow up on with your life and respectively, you know, those you care about. So how can America protect itself? It's ironic here because people could just look at me and just, you know, misinterpret me and say I'm something of this, you know, when, and I'm not going to get too rantish. I'm not going to that rant tip, you know, because like obviously like I'm not going to the rant tip. I'm not going to the rant ranch. I'm not going to the rant yard. I'm not going to the rant house. I'm not going to the rant barn. I'm not going to the rant bin. You know, like, you know, all these new creations, they're just remnants of like, you know, an algorithm from a whole different universe. That's all it is, you know, like nothing's really, really new. Or correct me if I'm wrong though, you know. But it is new because yeah, actually I already proved that otherwise. It is new because we're a whole new we're a new format of humans, and since we're a new format of humans, everything is kind of like it's a whole new, like, you know, it's a whole new arrangement, obviously. So everything is like something of a half truth. It is and it isn't, you know. But you got to find your isness, and you got to find your IsntNessNess. And just to like, you know, really land it, you know, evenly here is landing it evenly is just like, you know, may you make a better choice and decision that works in your favor for you and your loved ones. Thank you.